what happened with you? Because there were a few different things, weren't
Correct, yeah. And some of which were not shown on telly because they were so bad. I'll let you make your own minds up with that.
Gosh, go on.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've heard everything. I've heard because rumours, anti-Semitic stuff.
I know. Yeah. Well, I love Jews more than I bloody love them.
Yeah.
No, here we go. So guess how long it took me to rack up my first verbal warning?
How long?
Day one. Well, literally on the same day of entering. That is when you chew the fat most and you get to know your housemates. You probably tensions start to brew because people are trying to work each other out. But yeah, I did pick up a few warnings in my time, and the first one I said, and I stand by this: nobody ever is wholly good or evil. I think people who are evil are probably misguided. People who are good, yin yang and all that, they've got some bad in their personality.
I agree.
So that was the fundamental point. And for right or for wrong, I used the most extreme example. I said, who's the most evil person ever to exist? If you ask Joe Public, who's the most evil person? Hitler, most people would say. And there's a case for that. But I said, Hitler probably wasn't sitting there, funding the Holocaust and going, oh, I'm so evil. He was probably going, this needs to be done. I'm a good guy. And Jews are at the trouble of Germany's ills. Yeah. They're the root cause of all this.
Yeah.
And now we know that's wrong. He was not right to, of course, do anything he did. It's terrible what happened. And of course, I don't endorse any of that. I mean, even if I did, do you think I'd be stupid enough to say it on telly?
No,
so that's not the point I was making.
You're absolutely right. Of course Hitler thought he was doing good.
Yeah, I know.
Of course he did. Why would he do it?
Because he was misguided. People had probably fed him a pack of lies, anti-Semitic trope, and gone, oh, Hitler, you need to do this because Jews are to blame for hyperinflation, etc., things like that. So Hitler was misguided. But apparently that's justifying the Holocaust.
That's
saying
ridiculous.
Hitler was misguided. Now, I see just those words, Hitler was misguided, that alone, yes, it sounds not great, but let me explain myself, please. And that got me a verbal warning. And would you be offended by that?
No. Well, it's obviously true.
Yeah.
And in fact, to not suggest so, I would say, it gets complicated, but that to suggest otherwise is more anti-Semitic or more problematic for Jewish people, because it would be suggesting that Hitler was just like this evil monster, two-dimensional, we don't really need to think about him and it's never going to happen again.
Complex character.
Yeah, instead of like, no, this could happen to anyone. It's not just Hitler we have to worry about. All of these people who think they're doing good actually might not be. So it's really important that we do keep, and that's the kind of message that people do need to hear.
I know.
And you were warned.
That's how you learn from history, isn't it? By looking at what went wrong and reevaluating.
I suppose it's a bit dark for day one in the Big Brother house.
I know. Oh, I was, at the time, in the diary room when I got my warning, obviously this wasn't shown on telly because it's so bad.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That in itself is wrong. I think everything should be shown if it's...
Not the boring parts.
I know. Remember back in the day on Big Brother, it had a little warning at the beginning of each episode. Be prepared for flashing images and offensive language. Just put that and then you can put whatever you want. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Anyway, on the day when I got that warning in the diary room, I apologised straight away because they warned me right at the end of the day, and I was I was literally about to go to bed. I was so knackered, and I just wanted to clear it up and apologise, and that would be that. But I woke up the next morning. I went to bed fucking angry with myself because I woke up the next morning thinking about I couldn't get to sleep. I was thinking, I've just apologised. That's conceding guilt, like I've done something wrong.
Yeah,
that's not me. They got the wrong end of the stick. I didn't want to apologise. What I should have said, or I should have stuck up for myself and just explained my point as I've just done here.
They wouldn't listen.
I know. Well, they of course wouldn't revise the warning. But I went into a catharsis. I said, I feel like I've got an albatross around my neck. Now, everything I say, I've got the sword of Damocles hanging over my head because I can't say anything because it might be offensive. And that would all happen again.
Well, what was the next thing?
Well, the next thing was a formal warning, of course. It's strike number 2. And that was, again, I'm 23. I could have picked better words. But here we go. I said, As somebody who's got red hair, blue eyes, and white skin, I've been told that I'm the rarest breed of human. I think it's something like 0.001% of humans have that makeup.
Right.
Because their recessive genes is very rare, apart from Northern Europe and then people with Northern European ancestry in the likes of Australia or the States, etc. You won't find people like me in Africa or Asia, and not indigenously anyway. So I said, I feel a bit of an obligation to procreate with a woman who can keep hold of these genes. Therefore, if I have a kid with a brown woman or a black woman, for example, that kid that we have will have brown skin, brown hair, brown eyes, and this will be lost. So I said, if I have a baby with a woman of that makeup, I feel like I'm betraying my kind a bit. Now, betraying my kind, it's not the best way of putting it, but because it's, I do see where it could be wrong, but at the end of the day, that's not racist, is it?
You can also get these really beautiful mixed race people with like ginger hair and blue eyes and stuff. That's
the lighter eyes. They're the most attractive, people say.
Yeah, imagine that. Then forget your obligation.
Yeah.
You've got these model children.
Well, this is it. But
again,
I wouldn't rule out having a kid with a black or brown woman. It's just, I do feel a bit of an obligation to continue. Otherwise, if we all don't, then we'll go extinct. And
are you single?
I've never been in a relationship, actually.
I think just take who you can get then.
I'm not.
You've got something about you.
I'd be quite happy to go to my deathbed having kissed just one woman and having had sex with just one woman. I've not had a first kiss yet, Andrew. Should we do it now?
I was going to say that myself. Well, we'll find you. Should we do that? We'll set you up with someone.
Right. I don't like the dating pool these days. It's just everyone just. It's very, very difficult to find the right woman. We're going
to put, when we do the links below for all your staff, we'll also put your phone number. But what about first dates?
Never been on one.
Can I ask you a favour? Please subscribe. 90% of you are not subscribed, so if you sub, it will help the channel, and I'll keep making these clips.